remember to work quietly and follow along. At any point, you may hit the pause button to catch up or take a break and work at a pace that is best for you. Here are the materials you will need for this project. Alright, boys and girls, there was a shark attack in the art room today with all the art supplies coming to life. Today we're going to be making these awesome sharks out of newspaper and a variety of different supplies. This is a collage. A collage is when we take different papers and things on a flat surface and put them together to form a picture. And these sharks are super fun. Alright, and there's a bit of a story behind the project as well. Alright, so let's get our materials. The first thing we're going to need is a background piece of paper. This is that larger blue piece of paper. Alright, and then next we are going to need a piece of newspaper. Alright, first we're going to begin by cutting out our shark, okay? And you can pick which side of the newspaper you want. I'm going to go with this side just because I feel like it has a little less color and a little more grain. With your pencil, you're going to draw the shape of the shark. Just so you can see it, I am going to use a permanent Sharpie marker, okay? Just so you can see it. All right, with our newspaper, we are going to go a little bit farther in from the sides because we want a skinnier shark. If you would like a fat shark, go to the corners of your paper. I'm gonna go more skinnier, and it's kind of like a triangle, but it's nice and curved, okay? And then we do that on the same side. Here I kind of went to the corner, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter as long as you get some type of triangle that's more rounded and it comes up to the point and it's fairly wide at the bottom. We just don't want our shark super skinny and small. That's not as ferocious and scary. We also don't want it so big too where it doesn't really make a triangle. All right, once you have your shark drawn out with pencil, you may cut it out, okay? This is why pencil works better because then you won't see the lines. Maybe I will turn it over so we don't see the lines. We'll see. All right, not too bad. I'm just gonna cut off those lines real quick. I don't want people to see that. That takes away from the craftsmanship when we show our lines that we use to guide us when we're cutting. Go. All right, just cut out my shark with your scraps. They can be recycled. Make sure you get all your little scraps. There we go. And we're gonna bring back the blue paper that is our background, okay? And my camera doesn't quite fit the whole top of the page, so we'll just work with the bottom. That's most important. All right, now with our shark, we're gonna leave a little space at the bottom. This is because it's gonna make the shark appear like it's popping out of the water from a little bit farther away than you, not so close. And we also want some space for the water to cover the bottom of the shark, okay? So flip over your shark. The side you do not want showing, we are going to add glue. All right, I'm just using my glue bottle, adding just a small amount, like a small line around and maybe a small swirl in the center. You may also use a glue stick for this point as well. That would be totally acceptable. I'm going to flip over my shark and I'm not sticking it right away. I'm using my hands to get my placement. Remember, we want it a little bit farther than the bottom, kind of like if we put a hand there, that'd be fine. My shark is in the center of the page as well. Okay, you could put your shark kind of off to the side. It doesn't need to be perfect in the center, but it just kind of helps form our picture. Great, my shark is down. All right, next we are going to make the mouth of the shark. And the mouth of the shark is black. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black piece. This is about 1/4 of a regular paper, and I'm going to draw like an oval on it. Because it's black, you may not be able to see that very well, but I'll cut it out so you can see it. Okay. Now an oval is kind of like a longer circle, and this doesn't need to be perfect, remember. In fact, it's better that your oval's not perfect because it gives it more characteristics. Remember, scraps go in the recycling. There we go, or off to the side. Now I'm checking for my pencil lines. It's hard to see on the black, but in person I can tell where my pencil lines are. So I'm going to add glue to the side that has my pencil lines, so when I flip it over, we won't see them, okay? We want our work to be as neat as possible. Just adding a little bit of glue around the outside, leaving a little space so when I smush the glue, it doesn't run out. Now when you place your mouth, kind of want some room for your eyes. You also don't want it so deep that it's going to be in the water. So kind of right in the middle of your shark's face. Just press it. There we go. Not too bad. Next, we're going to do the teeth of the shark. And the teeth, I just cut this strip of paper and it's real easy. I'm going to use a pencil to draw it. But eventually you probably won't need a pencil. We can utilize the shape of the paper. Notice how I'm making a triangle using the shape of the paper. And I can continue to make like a giant zigzag back and forth to cut out different triangles. Here, I'm just going to show you. Whoops. All right. And see, I'm getting different triangles. You can draw it on the paper. That's not a big deal. But as I'm cutting, I'm going from the point and I'm kind of going at an angle. And your teeth can be all different angles and shapes of triangles. As long as they have 3 sides and they look like a triangle, that's totally fine. That should be enough teeth. I can come back and use this later. Okay. When I use my teeth, and if you used your pencil, we want to double check because we don't want to see these pencil lines. Okay. So that's the side I'm going to add just a little dot of glue to. Right, I'm going to flip it over so you can't see my pencil lines. And you're going to place your teeth along the edge of your shark's mouth, okay? It can be filled with teeth. It can have a lot of teeth. Or maybe your shark is really old and just doesn't have a lot of teeth. Or maybe it ate a rotten fish. I don't know. You can make up a story. Here again, I'm just adding a little dot of glue to the side that has the pencil line. So when I flip it over, we no longer see it. Okay? I like to work at one point of the shark's mouth and go all the way around. That way I know my teeth are going to line up. Okay? Checking for pencil lines, putting glue on that side and a dot of glue. Pressing down and we're good to go. Alright. Now this is a triangle. I did not use pencil, so it doesn't matter what side I use. Alright, I'm going to try to do the best I can, keeping my teeth around the outside, the rim of the oval mouth. There we go. All right, adding just a dot of glue, and I like to add a dot and then use my glue bottle to move the glue around and spread it. The corners are going to be kind of tricky, so you might want less teeth on the sides. Now, if you think about a mouth, we don't really have a lot of teeth on the side. We have it a lot on the top and the bottom, so that way we can chomp. Sharks are kind of the same way. They do have a lot of teeth though. I'm just doing a little dot of glue and I'm moving it around, spreading it. There we go. See, I could have put the tooth right here, but I moved it up just a little bit, so that way it's all noticeable. Just a dot, moving it around. There we go. That's a big tooth, awesome. Well, this one has pencil lines. Can you see that? So that's definitely the side I'm going to want to be able to put glue on. There we go. Awesome. Sweet, and one last tooth. And it's a little bit different shaped triangle. It's not perfect on equal sides, but it's a little longer, which would be nice at the side of my shark's mouth. There we go. Awesome. Here's our shark so far. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use tissue paper to make the water that the shark is emerging out of suddenly. And tissue paper is a really great material because it adds different effects. When we glue it and layer it, just like how we see the ocean and the water, it's got different ways that light can come through it and different textures of the ripples and things like that. So that's why tissue paper is awesome for this part of our collage. All right, here's my bin full of tissue paper. I just have it off to the side. We're going to begin with adding light colored tissue paper. Okay, when I add my tissue paper, I'm just kind of adding a little bit of glue in certain areas to make sure that most of the tissue paper will be stuck down. Just give me a little press. Okay. Next piece, maybe just you're doing a squiggle with glue, that's okay. But we're just keeping the glue more towards the center, not too close to the edges of your tissue paper. Now I can overlap them. I want to make sure I'm covering most of my paper. Okay. At the bottom edge, here's another piece. Doing a little small squiggles, covering most of my tissue paper. Here we go. I'm kind of following the bottom edge. We'll have a chance to come up and do this section by the shark next. All right, now I'm just grabbing random pieces and seeing how they fit into our collage, kind of like a puzzle. But if there's a certain shape you're looking for, you could rummage through, like this one. It's really good for the corner. And find one that might work a little bit better. But just don't spend too much time on that because it really doesn't matter. The different shapes and the overlapping really give it the cool effect we're looking for. There we go. Sweet, it's starting to come to life. Alrighty, let's keep going. We're gonna add a little bit more blue. Oops. Up towards the top. Now we're gonna kind of go across our shark. Okay. It helps if we just keep our tissue paper flat and we're holding it, like spreading the paper apart with our fingers and adding a little pressure to keep it down. Okay. There we go, this will fit nicely right there. Perfect, I got another small one, I'm gonna go right there with it. If your hands are getting a little sticky and the glue is seeping through the paper, that means you're probably using a little too much glue. Right? Next, we're gonna be adding some more layers of blue because this is what really makes it interesting. All right, so same thing, add some blue to our now darker blue tissue paper. And this is gonna go towards the bottom of the page, okay? Why would I put the tissue paper with the darker blue towards the bottom? Well, when we have water and it's more closer to our bodies, it's a little thinner. The most of the body of water is near away from our bodies, and when we splash, the water gets lighter because more light can penetrate it, okay? So here we go. This is kind of representing how water is in real life. So I'm putting some darker blue towards the bottom. Now it's really nice that we layered the tissue paper and got different tones of blue that way as well. Okay, and I have one more over here. We'll see how this one fits. Okay, doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, a little bit of those lighter tones coming in through the bottom is perfect. We're almost done with our shark. It's really getting scary now, boys and girls. For fun, we can add googly eyes if you want, or you can draw your eyes on the shark. That's totally fine. Or use different papers to add eyes as well. Okay, so I'm just pressing those on. Alrighty, now we're gonna open it up for you as kind of a free-for-all in art. You may use, I'm gonna bring you back the other example, different markers or art supplies to add more things to your work. Maybe there's something going on in the sky. Like it's raining lollipops and the shark wants a lollipop. Maybe it's going for the fish or more splashes, or there's a storm. You can add whatever you like, okay? I'm gonna add some splashes though, because I think that will really add to the water effect, and I'm gonna show you how to do that, because I'm sure you would want one too, right? With a blue marker, because markers are really good for drawing and covering up space, I'm going to make a perfectly round circle. And I'm just gonna draw a little triangle that connects to that. I'm gonna draw a little smaller circle and a smaller triangle. And you could change up the size. Now I'm gonna do a big one and a triangle that way. There we go. Let's do some up here. A circle, and then a triangle. Maybe one more. And my triangles are always pointing towards what's splashing. In this case, it is the shark in the water. Really cool. Let's add something to our picture. I'm going to add, maybe it could be a certain type of fish or a mermaid. It could be something really crazy going on in the background, or maybe it's nothing. It could be anything you want. I'm gonna go back to that lollipop idea though, because I think that's really cool that maybe the shark is trying to get the lollipop. Right? I'm gonna make it look like candies. Like those swirled lollipops, those are the best. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna change it because that really looks like candy to me. I'm gonna do a bunch of candies. Alrighty, here is my project. My artsy paper shark newspaper is actually coming up and emerging out of the water so suddenly because there's a candy storm going over the ocean. So I think that's really cool. You can do anything you want with your shark project. Remember, like this shark, oh my gosh, he's just going for that fish. You can have it go for anything you want. Pretty cool. And I'm sure your shark will make the news as well. Alrighty, thanks for watching. For additional resources and connections, follow and subscribe to see my artwork and the updates that are happening in Miss Dykman's art class. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.